Clear Light, Ground, Path, Fruition, and the Art of Recognizing Luminosity. Volume 3 of NAROPA'S 6 Yogas, The Complete Training System, Kindle edition by Laing Z, Matthews. Clear Light is Volume 3 of NAROPA'S 6 Yogas, The Complete Training System. It addresses a subject that modern spirituality almost guarantees will be misread: luminosity. People hear clear light and imagine fireworks, visions, bliss storms, mystical cinema, a permanent upgrade. The tradition means something far more exact and far more demanding: the capacity to recognize knowing itself when the usual supports of body, story, and world begin to thin. This volume is written to protect that meaning. Clear light is not a special effect. It is not a trance state you can force into existence. It is the most subtle layer of mind recognized when grasping relaxes. In the 6 Yogas architecture, clear light is not an isolated chapter of esoteric theory. It is the axis that the other trainings serve. Inner heat refines the carrier of attention. Illusory body trains appearance-emptiness, so fear and fascination don't seize the mind. Dream and sleep practice make recognition portable under thinning supports. Clear light is what all of that is preparing you to meet without grabbing. Because modern readers reliably turn this topic into a project, this book refuses the usual bait. It does not publish destabilizing engineering or DIY physiology. It does not encourage breath games, sleep deprivation, method stacking, or obsessive threshold chasing. Where lineages use precise methods that require supervision and fit, this volume treats them as restricted doctrine. It explains what the texts claim, what those claims are trying to do, what goes wrong when people imitate them, and why the safest leverage is always simpler than the mind wants. The central question of clear light training is not, how do I see more? It is, can I release the need to see? The mind's most primitive habit is to grab, to secure itself by making an object, a narrative, a proof. Clear light is recognized exactly when that habit loosens. The practice, therefore, is not a hunt for an experience. It is a training in non-grasping so stable that even when fear rises, even when imagery intensifies, even when the familiar sense of self begins to dissolve, the mind can recognize and rest without inventing a handle. This volume presents clear light in plain terms, what luminosity points to, how it shows itself without theatrics, and how to work with it without confusing hypnagogia, hallucination, or stimulation for realization. It gives modern honesty tests that cut through self-deception. If your practice makes you more obsessive, more fragile, more inflated, or it harms your sleep, you are not training clear light. You are training agitation. If it makes you steadier, cleaner in conduct, less reactive under stress, and less fascinated by inner display, you are moving in the right direction. You will also learn why clear light is discussed across multiple arenas: waking, dream, sleep, and death. Recognition must become continuous, not occasional. A flash in meditation means little if you cannot recognize and return when the room is loud, the body is tired, the mind is afraid, or the dream is vivid. This is why the tradition is blunt about last-minute fantasies. At death, you are not allowed to practice in the way modern people imagine. You do not get to start. You rely on what you rehearsed, what you can recognize and release without strain. Clear light is written for serious practitioners and serious skeptics alike. You do not need to adopt Tibetan cosmology as literal to benefit from this training. You can read it as a precision manual in phenomenology, how attention follows momentum, how fear recruits imagery, how grasping manufactures proof, and how to interrupt that reflex in real time. The promise is not spectacle. The promise is freedom from compulsion, a mind that can meet what arises without being dragged.